Om Shanti. Today, 6th June 2021. Morning, Madhuban Avyakt Murli. Bapdada Om Shanti. Revised course 14th January 1988. The title of the Avyakt Murli is The Reason for Unhappiness is Disobedience in Little Things. Okay, little things. Today, the unlimited, greatest of all fathers, the Father who makes you the highest of all, especially seeing his children who out of all the children everywhere are obedient. All consider themselves to be obedient children, but they are number wise. Some are always obedient, whereas others are obedient but not always underlying. All the children are in the list of obedient children, but there is definitely a difference. The father who gives instructions gives all the children the same instructions at the same time. He doesn't give a variety of directions or separate directions to individuals. So, why is it still number wise then? Bapdada says, those who are always easily embodiments of the awareness of the Father's instructions in every thought and every action automatically move along with their every thought, word, and action in accordance with those instructions, whereas those who do not become embodiments of that awareness repeatedly have to bring them into their awareness. Sometimes, because of having that awareness, they move along while being obedient, whereas at other times they remember the instruction after moving along because they are not embodiments of the awareness of the instructions. Because they don't experience in their actions the instant and visible fruit of elevated actions, they remember later, when the action is over, why they received that result. They check themselves after performing the action. Very important. After performing the action, and they thereby understand that they haven't experienced the visible fruit because they were not moving along according to the Father's directions before the action is over. That is not being an embodiment of the awareness of the instructions, but having the awareness after seeing the fruit of your actions. So, number one is easily and automatically being an embodiment of awareness and being obedient. The second number are of those who sometimes perform actions with that awareness and sometimes have that awareness after performing their actions. Underline the word after. Don't even ask about the third number. So they are even more down. They don't even remember, they don't perform actions with the awareness and don't even have the awareness after performing their actions. Bapdada says, there are two rosaries. The first is a small rosary and the second is a bigger rosary. Mala. There is no rosary of the third number. This is why Baba is only speaking of two categories. Bapdada is giving more indications on the how to recognize number one and number two obedient children. Number one obedient children do not experience having to labor in any action, but they experience the special fruit of blessings from the Father as the fruit of their obedience. Obedient children always receive blessings from the heart of Bapdada at every step. Therefore, because of receiving blessings from the heart, their every action is fruitful. For action is the seed, and the attainment from that seed is the fruit. Because the seed, that is every action of every number one obedient soul, is powerful, they experience contentment and success as the fruit of every action. There can be contentment with the self, with the result of the action, and also in their connections and relationships with many souls. The number one obedient souls naturally and constantly experience all three types of contentment, that is, contentment with the self, contentment with the result of the action done, and contentment with in their connections and relationships with many souls. Bhagavad says that some souls sometimes experience themselves to be discontent with some elevated obedient children. You would think that there is no one with whom everyone is content. Someone or other would always be discontent, but there are many reasons for that. Because of not knowing their own reasons, there is a misunderstanding. Secondly, according to their own intellects, they have too many desires or expectations of the seniors, and when those expectations are not fulfilled, they become discontent. Thirdly, because of their past sanskars and nature and the karmic account of some souls, those who should become content are not content. Because of this, there is no reason why others should be discontent with number one obedient souls or elevated souls, but they do remain discontent due to their own reasons. This is why, in some cases, it seems as though someone is discontent with everyone. However, in that too, the majority, at least 95%, would be content. 5% would be seen as discontent. So, the majority of the number one obedient souls would make others content in all three ways. The conscience of a number one obedient soul would never bite because they do everything according to instructions. They always remain light, for they don't have any burden of the bondage of karma. A number one soul comes into a relationship of karma and is therefore always light in every action because of receiving special blessings from Bapdada. A number one soul would constantly experience internal willpower as a result of blessings. Such a soul would always experience super sensuous joy. He would always experience himself to be full. Acha, to the to all the most obedient, elevated souls everywhere, to the special souls who always experience the blessings received from the Father, to the great souls who always experience contentment and success in every action, to the obedient children who place their steps in the Father's footsteps, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. Bapdada meeting group number 1. So check. Baba has given us a checking. While living in the old world, are you trapped in the old world? A lotus lives in the mud but is separate from it. So you have to live here for service, not out of attachment. Very important. Underline these lines. You have to live here in the old world for service, not out of attachment. So you mothers do not have attachment, do you? Bapdada says, when there is attachment, the sorrow of others is felt to be your own sorrow. It should not be that because the child has a fever, you also have a fever in your mind. Attachment pulls you. Of course, there will be papers. Sometimes one grandchild would not be well, sometimes another. Sometimes there will be problems about money, sometimes there will be problems of your own ill health. All of that will happen, but you must always remain detached. Do not become attached. Are you free from attachment to this extent? Bapdada says mothers have attachment in relationships, whereas men have attachment to money. In earning money, they will even forget to have remembrance. To work for the sake of the livelihood of your body is one thing, but to become so engrossed in it that you forget your study and your practice of remembrance is to have attachment. The more you become a conqueror of attachment, the more you will become an embodiment of remembrance. Second group, meeting Kumars. Bapdada says, let spiritual youth give such an experience of the power of peace with the power of their minds, their words, and their activity that people understand that you will all bring about a revolution with the power of peace. Just as force is visible on the faces and in the activities of the physical youth, when you see them, you can tell that they are in their youth. In the same way, let them experience peace from your faces and your activities. This is known as being one who performs wonders. Let there be this vibration from each one's attitude. Show such wonders. When anyone carries out something revolutionary, everyone's attention is drawn. In the same way, let everyone's attention be drawn to you. Do such unlimited service because when you relate knowledge, they like it. But transformation only takes place when they see someone with experience. Do something unique and show everyone. When the sun rises, everyone's attention is automatically drawn to it. That light is coming. In the same way, let everyone's attention be drawn to you. Do you understand? Now, Bapdada's blessing. May you be God's helpers who bring success to tired and desperate souls. May you be God's helpers who bring success to tired and desperate souls. Souls have had a desire or hope for a long time to go to Nirvana or the land of liberation, and it is for this that they have been making various kinds of spiritual endeavor over many births and have become tired. Everyone now wants success and not just to make spiritual endeavor. Success means salvation, and so, in order to quench the thirst of thirsty souls, tired and desperate souls, you elevated souls with your power of silence and all your powers have to bring them success in a second. You would then be said to be God's helpers, God's right hand. Slogan: weak sanskars are the gate through which Maya, the thief, enters. So now close this gate. Weak sanskars are the gate through which Maya, the thief, enters. So now close this gate. Thank you, Shiv Baba. So today I, the soul, will focus on the reasons for unhappiness, if any. And the most important reason for unhappiness is disobedience in little things. I will make sure I remember the Father, receive His directions, follow His directions before the action and during the action, not after the action only. I will be an easy embodiment of the awareness of the Father instructions in every thought and every action. Thank you, Shiv Baba. Have a great day to all. Om Shanti.